So speaking of innovation, let's talk about the patent wars that go on.
Yeah.
Apple, Samsung, Google. Is that a problem for innovation?
Well, it's a pain in the ass.
Okay.
Is it a problem for innovation? I think it's, from our point of view, it's important that Apple not be the developer for the world. We can't take all of our energy and all of our care and finish the painting and have someone else put their name on it. We can't have that. And so, you know, the worst thing in the world that can happen to you if you're an engineer and you've given your life to something is for someone to rip it off and put their name on it. And so what we want to accomplish is we just want people to invent their own stuff. And we don't want to be the developer for the world.
But there are people accusing you of ripping them off.
Oh, I'm sure
Right?
there are people accusing us of everything.
No, come on, Tim. I mean, you know this. This is all over the world in every court. It's not just like you're suing other people are suing you.
Oh, of course, yes. And when you look at those, the vast majority of those are on standards essential patents. And this is an area where the patent system is broken today. You know, standards essential patent carries with it a responsibility by the person who owns the patent to license it in a fair and reasonable and non-discriminatory
So what's one example of a standard, just in case there aren't, everybody isn't
Except
a
for
patent
Nathan.
lawyer.
Nathan understands.
It's something that
And Nathan knows, but
I mean, let me just make it simple. It's something fundamental to connecting to the 3G network.
okay.
You know, where there's no way you could design a product without whatever this is. And so the issue with the system, as I see it, relative to this, there are other issues, and I'm sure you'll get into those later in the conference, but the issue is that this is an economic argument. It's not there should be no one should be able to get an injunction off a standards essential patent because the owner of the patent has the responsibility to license it on a fair, reasonable, and non-discriminatory manner. And so when somebody comes to you and tries to, get some obscene level of money from you for this, they're in essence telling you they're not going to license it because they want to go try to get an injunction and use the court system to do that. And in my view, use it in a way that it wasn't intended.
So just so I get this straight, are you saying, and I want to put words in your mouth, that's what I'm asking. You're saying that when you sue somebody, it's because you finished the painting and they're ripping you off.
I've never sued anyone.
And when people are suing you, it's because they're trying to get more money than they should get under the way standard essential patents are understood. And nobody else feels they've done a painting that you've ripped off.
Well, there's a lot of stuff in that. I can't tell you how people feel. I don't want like people talking about how I feel, and I don't represent how other people feel. What I'm saying, Walt, is that Apple has not sued anyone over standards essential patents that we own because we view that it's fundamentally wrong to do that. This was never the intention of a standards essential patent. The intention was that some payment be made.
Yeah.
And you can always argue about the payment, and there has to be a forum for resolving those disputes. But the problem in this industry is if you add up what everybody says the standards essential patents are worth, no one else could be in the phone business. Competition would be locked out. And so it's kind of gotten crazy. This is one issue. And so there's some of this that is maddening. It's a waste. It's a time suck. However, does it stop innovation? It's not going to stop us from innovating, no, but it's overhead. It's overhead that I wish didn't exist, and if we can find a way to settle this, then
But you just had settlement talks with,
I read that in the paper, but I
He said
can't talk
Choi.
about it.
Oh, you can't talk about it at all?
No, the magistrate asked us not to talk about it.
the magistrate, no, this is D. We're like exempt from the magistrate.
He is the magistrate.
I'm sorry, he didn't tell me that, so.
So,
Let me get him on my-
In that vein, how do you like Google's painting? Pretty? Tacky? What?
I love Apple's painting. I
know
love
that.
Apple's painting.
We know.
And,
Google's painting. You can talk about RIM's painting a little bit, but mostly I'm
you
interested
know,
in Google's
I don't want to talk about other companies. You brought up patents, and so I brought up something that I feel passionate about, as you might tell, that I think is an abuse of the system that was not intended. And I do think it needs, fixed, and I'm hoping that some of the regulators and so forth will charge at this and begin to fix it.